welcome back to Becca's Bookshelf. I make content about reading, writing, and mental health, and today I'm bringing you an unboxing haul. So basically, Book Depository, this is not sponsored, but Book Depository is an online thrift store for books, and they have really high quality books for very low prices. And I've always loved Book Depository, but they're going out of business, so I wanted to give them some last minute support, and I wanted to help them get rid of their inventory. And also, I've just been severely depressed recently, and so I have this giant stack of books to unhaul, and it's not from just like the past week, it's from the past few months or so, and I've been stacking them up, waiting to do a collective unboxing. And I do want to get better about not doing big hauls because I want to be mindful of my consumption, but I've been severely depressed, and I watched a video recently of this girl who was really suicidal, and she just bought books every day to give herself hope, and that really inspired me. So basically, I'm severely depressed, and I'm trying to cure that depression by buying books. And I know that may not be super healthy, but I've also been in a bit of a reading slump, and I want to cure that. So we're going to go through these together today, and I'm really excited to show you my little unboxing. So yeah, here they are. So first, and sorry about the location, this is like the place I feel the most comfortable filming in my apartment, just because my dogs kind of get in the way, and also there's just a lot of noise in my apartment. I live with an opera singer. There's a lot of dogs in my building, so this is usually the quietest place, but I know it's a little echoey, so I'm sorry about that. I'm going to work on finding a better location to film in the future. I'm also moving soon, so it should be fun. But first up, also I forgot almost everything that I bought, so this is the first book. Oh my god, I'm really excited about this one. Most of these are queer and sapphic specifically, but I don't know if this book is actually queer. I think this might be one of the only ones. So first we have The Butterfly Lampshade by Amy Blender. This book is about mental illness, and I'll read you a brief blurb. On the night her single mother is taken to a mental hospital after a psychotic episode, 8-year-old Francie is staying with her babysitter, waiting to take the train to Los Angeles to go live with her aunt and uncle. Next to the couch on which she's sleeping, there is a lovely lamp adorned with butterflies. When she wakes, Francie spies a dead butterfly floating in a glass of water. She drinks it before the babysitter can see. 20 years later, Francie is compelled to make sense of that moment and 2 other incidents: her discovery of a desiccated beetle from a school paper and a bouquet of dried roses from some curtains. Her recall is exact. She is sure these things happened, but despite her certainty, she wrestles with the hold that these memories maintain over her and what they say about her own place in the world. I'm really excited about this one. I totally forgot that I bought it, and I really love books about mental health and about surrealism, liminal spaces, about the real and the unreal. I love being uncertain if things are real when I'm reading, and also there's a lot of themes of decay, which I'm a big fan of. So I'm going to try to move through these kind of quickly. Up next, let's see what we have. Oh my god, yes. So Carmilla, I've always been wanting to read this. It's a classic about a sort of predatory lesbian vampire that has been sort of recontextualized as less predatory and as a way of like it was originally written to, I could be wrong about this, but as far as I know, it was originally written as sort of like a way to like create more fear around queerness, but it's been recontextualized to be this sort of classic sapphic story, and I'm really interested to read it. But I also recently I've been really wanting to create fairy metal music. Like I want to have like a little screamo session and create some angry sapphic music, and Carmilla is is like sort of a theme of one of the songs I want to write. Like lesbian vampirism is something I'm really intrigued by, and I want to make a song about that. So I wanted to read the book before I actually like wrote a literary analogy to it. So the next one, so satisfying. So this is Blood by Rachel McKibbins, and one of my favorite book reviewers on TikTok gave a really beautiful description of this book. And I'm just like extremely intrigued by this, and I'll add some more information about this later. I'm just really nervous the dog in my building is going to start barking, so I'm trying to get through this kind of quickly. So up next, what is this? Ooh, so this is She Is a Haunting. It's sapphic. I think I'm going to read it for the Asian readathon next month. This house eats and is eaten. This summer, Jade has one goal, to survive living a lie with her sister and their estranged dad, while he fixes up a decaying colonial house in Vietnam. If she can be straight enough, Vietnamese enough, American enough, then college and freedom will be hers. But the house has other plans. Dead bugs line its windowsills, and its gardens grow monstrous blooms. Then the ghost of a beautiful bride gives Jade a cryptic warning: don't eat. With the help of rebellious local girl Florence, Jade is determined to prove the house is haunted and that it won't rest until it consumes her family completely. Haunting, decay, two of my favorite themes, so I'm really excited to read this. I'm very intrigued by it. This is the cover. So up next, let's see what we have here. Okay, should there be? Oh my god, I'm so excited this came. I'm currently doing a lesbian lit readathon, and this is one of the books I was potentially going to read during that readathon. I have until the end of the month, so I have another week, and I've been doing like a 24-hour lesbian lit readathon, so I think I might try to tackle this one. But this is called The Mercies, and I'll add some more information in the B-roll about this. Okay, so up next, sorry, I just had to stop for a second. My neighbor was in the bathroom and you can hear her pretty well. I didn't want the audio to be bad, but I'm excited to open this next one. Let's see what's happening. Oh, I wonder if there's gonna be, oh, it's just one. I was wondering if there's gonna be two books in here. I love the little bookmarks they give you too, they're so cute. So I actually have no idea what this one's about, but it's called Crier's War, and I think it's sapphic fantasy because I went through this phase after I finished Bloodmarked where I was just like really sad that I wasn't reading YA fantasy anymore. And also I went into reading Legendborn and Bloodmarked with the misconception that the main character was queer, because a lot of people are like, oh my god, this book is so queer, and I really appreciate the like side queer representation in that book, but I wouldn't call it really a queer book just because the main character is straight and like it's very focused on a male and female relationship. But I really wanted more sapphic fantasy, and also I'm writing a sapphic science fantasy, so I need some inspiration. And up next, let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, so I got Audre Lorde's The Black Unicorn. I've been wanting to read more poetry for National Poetry Month, and also I'm going to school for poetry in the fall, so I've been really making a big effort of reading more poetry this year because I naturally gravitate more towards reading fiction, just because I really like to use reading as a form of escapism, and when I'm reading poetry it's still escapism, but I do like very intense analytical readings. Like I like to do very close readings. I'm trying to get better at just like reading through a collection without feeling like I need to fully understand it, but I love Audre Lorde, and I have a huge anthology which I've been working my way through, but I also wanted to like work through a shorter collection so I could, you know, get through the whole thing. We're getting towards the end here, and this is the next one. Ooh, so I got a collector's edition because the collector's edition on Book Depository are in such good condition and they're literally so cheap. Look at the foiling. I don't know if you can see how beautiful that is. But I got Six of Crows, which I have some skepticism toward, but I love Oh, I also didn't realize the edges are sprayed red. But I'm a huge fan of the Shadow and Bone series. I'm a huge fan of the show. So I want to know more about the characters and be able to fully understand their story. And also the queer plot in Six of Crows is extremely cute to me. So I would like to read this. I also potentially want to write some fan fiction for Inej and Nina, so I feel like I need to read this to like fully be able to do that. But I'm really happy with this copy. I feel like it's so beautiful. And then we only have 2 more books here. So this book, oh my god, this is way shorter than I thought it was going to be. That's kind of nice because I'm really behind on my reading goal for the year, but also kind of disappointing because I don't know, I hope it's still like, I feel like short books can still be really substantial, but one of my favorite book talkers, the same girl who recommended Blood, recommended this collection, and I think she had mixed feelings about it, but I'm still very intrigued. It's about like mental illness, it's about a psychiatric asylum. That's all I really remember, but I will add more information about this in the B-roll. And this is the last book, but let us see what is in here. Okay, I'm really excited for this. So this is The Dead in the Dark. This is a sapphic YA horror. Everything I need. I love horror. I love sapphic stories. I'm starting to really love YA, even though I never used to read YA, except for like in middle school and high school. I'm super excited to read this. Also, the cover is just stunning in my opinion. According to readingforsanity.com, Six of Crows tells the story of Kaz Brecker, a brilliant but ruthless con man with a skilled crew of cutthroats, sneak thieves, and spies at his disposal. Kaz and his associates make their own way in a brutal world, trading in secrets, stealing for their own gain, and never looking back. I've also been told that this book epitomizes be gay, do crime. According to Coffee House Press, on the outskirts of Buenos Aires in 1907, Dr. Quintana pines for head nurse Menendez while he and his colleagues embark on a grisly series of experiments to investigate the line between life and death. According to Goodreads, Courtney Gold's thrilling debut, The Dead in the Dark, is about the things that lurk in dark corners, the parts of you that can't remain hidden, and about finding home in places and people you don't expect. The last YA horror I read was The Honeys by Ryan LaSala, and that was everything to me, so I'm hoping this gives off similar energy, except for it's sapphic, so I'm even more excited about that. According to Connotation Press, Rachel McKibben's third collection of poems, Blood, is a brilliant and binding conflagration, a coiled and smoking braid of cycling self-resurrections, thick curses, inherited and inescapable traumas, and of simple, clear-voiced blessings for those who have survived and yet still bear childhoods and families threaded by mental illness, violence, and neglect. McKibben's poems are unflinching, sharply intimate, and concretely modern, yet they howl with a primal want that is as old as mountains, rivers, and time itself, a narrative that is carried in the blood and passed down through generations in a world where language is a conjuring, lineage the cruelest coven. According to Magical Reads, She is a Haunting follows a house with a terrifying appetite that haunts a broken family and this atmospheric horror, perfect for fans of Mexican Gothic. When Jade arrives in Vietnam for a visit with her estranged father, she has one goal: survive 5 weeks pretending to be a happy family in the French colonial house Ba is restoring. She's always lied to fit in, so if she's straight enough, Vietnamese enough, American enough, she can get out with the college money he promised. But the house has other plans. Night after night, Jade wakes up paralyzed. The walls exude a thrumming sound while bugs leave their legs and feelers in places they don't belong. She finds curious traces of her ancestors in the gardens they once tended. And at night, Jade can't ignore the ghost of the beautiful bride who leaves her cryptic warnings. Don't eat. According to Goodreads, after a storm has killed off all the island's men, two women in a 1600s Norwegian coastal village struggle to survive against both natural forces and the men who have been sent to rid the community of alleged witchcraft. And I know this book is sapphic. I think it follows lesbians. And anytime there are sapphics doing witchcraft, you can guarantee that I will read it and I will love it. So I'm incredibly excited to check this one out. According to Goodreads, um, Cryer's War follows impossible love between two girls, one human, one maid, a love that could birth a revolution. After the War of Kinds ravaged the kingdom of Rabu, the Autome, designed to be the playthings of royals, took over the estates of their owners and bent the human race to their will. Now Ayla, a human servant rising the ranks of the House of the Sovereign, dreams of avenging the death of her family by killing the Sovereign's daughter, Lady Cryer. Cryer, who was made to be beautiful, to be flawless, and to take over the work of her father. Cryer had been preparing to do just that, to inherit her father's rule over the land. But that was before she was betrothed to Skyr Canuck, who seems to have 1,000 secrets. That was before she discovered her father isn't as benevolent as she thought. That was before she met Ayla. Set in a richly imagined fantasy world, Nina Varela's debut novel is a sweepingly romantic tale of love, loss, and revenge. The challenge is what it really means to be human. According to the blog Journal Women Writers, the Black Unicorn explores Lord's relationship with womanhood as she provides insight on the interwoven nature of oppression, sexism, African culture, sexual and spiritual awakening, and race, affirming that feminism necessitates focus on each element. According to the Last World Book Review, in an isolated castle deep in the Styrian forest, Laura leads a solitary life with only her elderly father for company, until one moonlit night a horse-drawn carriage crashes into view, carrying an unexpected guest, the beautiful Carmilla. And as you can see, there are some really beautiful illustrations in this copy. I'm really excited to dive into this world and see this in the critical lens of a sapphic reader in the 21st century. Yeah, but thank you so much. I'm going to add more information about all of these in the B-roll, but thank you so much for checking out my little unboxing. I'm really excited to read all of these new books, and I'm really sorry I haven't been super active on here, but I'm going to try to put out more videos soon. I have a lot of content about writing and reading coming up. I've just been struggling a little bit with my mental health, as I mentioned before, so, for those of you that are still watching my videos, I really appreciate your patience and understanding, and definitely, if you've read any of these books, I'd love to hear about your thoughts, or if you have any really good books that you recommend, please tell me about them in the comments, because I'd love to connect with you and hear more about some books, because I always want to read more and learn about new books. But yeah, I hope you have a great day and take some time to read or practice self-care. Bye!